Mission log, star date 4072. My ship has run off course en route to Sector 12. I've crash landed on a strange planet. The impact must have awoken me from hypersleep. Terrain seems a bit unstable. No readout yet if the air is breathable. And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere. End quote. So I gotta ask you, man, what was it like when you crash landed here as none other than Buzz LightYear, dude? I love Toy Story.
Oh, one of my favorite Pixar characters is Buzz LightYear. I've been wanting to do Toy Story for so long, and I've put it off. And I said, you know what? Every year I'm like, I need to do something different this year. I want to do something cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Side Project Podcast. Yes! Let's take a sip out of our Run It Up mug. Yes, it tastes like success, it tastes like glory, and it tastes like the camera's not focusing. I gotta fix my settings, you guys. I'm serious. This is like 2 episodes in a row. This is just becoming embarrassing at this point. If you want to get these awesome mugs, the Run It Up mug, the Project Park mug, the Project Things mug, these are available on the Side Project merch store right now, alongside the Project Lines hoodie. It's finally, where I live at least, it's hoodie time, you know what I mean? Is it today, actually? No, it's not today. It's like 79 degrees out here today. But I've got the AC on because I gotta rock the hoodie, but we're just gonna act like it's cold. It's so cold out here that I can rock these awesome Side Project merch hoodies right now. We've also got this, I gotta show you guys this. I haven't promoted it in a long time. I don't know if anybody even remembers. But we've got the Champion fleece jacket for the Project Park Champion fleece jacket. Literally, Champion, the company, collaboration with Champion there. Go get those. Look at it's swishy. It's like you can run in it, makes all those noises. So you're running behind somebody, and then you can run up by them, and you can go on your left. You know what I mean? Like Captain America, but instead it's like the Chazosaurus Rex version. It's like Captosaurus Rex on your left. You can run. You can get those. Those are awesome. They're all on the Side Project merch store right now, alongside all kinds of other things that you can get in tees and hoodies and beanies and whatever else is up there. There's all kinds of stuff, hats and all kinds of things. Real quick, before we introduce the guest, I want to say shout out to Gray_Red Hood, who won the collaboration with me and AE Cosplay Suits, Alter Ego Studios giveaway that we did for the Side Project Podcast anniversary, which I'm still thanking you guys for. And he won that. He won the cowl. It was a Batman cowl, much like the one here, except it was the long-eared Fabic cowl or Fabak, I don't know. Somebody correct me. Nobody's corrected me. So many people say it differently. I don't even know the right way to say it anymore. I haven't figured it out. But he won that, and that's awesome. Shout out to everybody who joined that giveaway. There's so many entries. That's so cool, man. It's dope to be able to collaborate with AE Studios, who have been on the show before. Previous guest Tom was one half, and provide something to showcase their absolutely amazing quality. To whoever won, to whoever would win, which it happened to be Gray_Red Hood. And he actually, I talked to him, he actually is going to wear it. It's not just going to be a display piece. So that's cool, to be able to provide that to somebody to wear and rock their awesome quality. And we're going to have so many more giveaways coming, man. I'm going to have a Christmas giveaway, I believe, and then there'll be something after the New Year's as well. So stay tuned. Those will always be on Instagram. Side Project Podcast on Instagram. But enough about that, because this episode, this is one that has been in the vault for a very long time. This is the definition of a long time coming, because my guest this week was a previous Cosplay of the Week all the way back to episode 115. My guest this week creates content that makes me question if it's torn straight out of the pages of a comic, ripped right out of our favorite video games, or brought to life from some of our most critically acclaimed films and animation. Whether it be classic takes on characters often spoke about on the show, such as Batman, or speechless renditions of everyone's favorite symbiote, Venom. Maybe it's taking the Grand Master of the Lin Kuei and quite literally replicating him down to a T with Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, or maybe it's something that's never been spoken about here on this show as he goes to infinity and beyond. as Buzz LightYear. No matter the cosplay, he's sure to leave the community's eyes wide open, and we're gonna take some deep dives into as much as we can. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and give a warm welcome to the Acosta Projekt. How's it going, man?
All right, how you doing?
I'm good. Oh, I'm good, man. I'm glad to have you here. I want to say real quick, just in case anybody's watching, we are having some internet difficulties and some lag and stuff. So just in case, I'll fix as much as I can in editing. But just in case, just know if there's like pauses in between responses or anything seems awkward, it's out of our hands. We're going to try to get the episode done anyway. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's a blessing. It's amazing, man. I'm a fan of your show. I'm really excited to be on your show, actually. So thanks a lot for this opportunity, man. It means a lot to me.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like I said in the intro, man, it literally has been a long time coming. Previous Cosplay of the Week, episode 115. This is episode 154, if I'm thinking right off the top of my head. So it's been a long time coming, man. A long time coming, dude. I want to get right into it, man. I got some stuff that I really want to talk to you about, dude. One of my favorite characters of all time throughout all of the comic book universe always hits me square in the face, and this world better prepare to get laced because they're going to taste my venom. Talk about bringing Venom to life, dude. Your Venom cosplay is beyond words, man. It looks phenomenal on you, dude. And this first shot that's on the screen is by Grace and Shine Photo. And the suit is actually made by Arius. Is it Arius? I always forget how to pronounce it. Is it Arius? Arius?
Pronouncing his name also, Arius.
Arius?
Put his name up.
yeah. So he'll correct us in the comments at some point. But Arius Legacy Creations, who also actually happens to be a previous Cosplay of the Week, dating back to the extreme beginning days of this show that I don't really like to talk about because, you know, everybody starts somewhere, and it's starting to become those beginning days of this show. I'm starting to even forget who was featured, man. And the show's so different and more put together these days. I may have to revisit some people and give them the proper shine that they deserve that they didn't get in the lower days of the episode. But Arius Legacy Creations on the Venom suit. You've even done some shots with your son, right? It's your son as Spider-Man? Yeah, dude.
Yes, that's I have 4 boys, so that's one of them.
That's one of them. That's one of them, dude. And you guys, he's battling you, man, on top of you and everything. It's perfectly done, dude. And you've had some videos shot by previous guests and friend of mine, Geek Vibes, which showcases that the mouth of Venom, it even opens up a little bit as well, man. So I got to ask you, like, how did this all come about, dude? Like, did you have a hand or a say in anything related to this suit? Were there any ideas or options that you sought out before you ended up going with Arius Legacy Creations? Like, what was the thought process and the process as a whole, like, for becoming Venom?
Well, since I was a kid, I've been a Marvel fan. I've been trying to dress up since I was a kid, make cosplays and do all kinds of stuff. I remember being in daycare, and the Ninja Turtles in the 90s was a big thing.
Yeah.
And I tried to make shells and costumes out of cardboard, paper, and tape. So this goes way back since I was a kid. I think all kids love to dress up, but nowadays it's easier for them. Everything is, they have everything at their hands. So it was much better when I was younger. But I've been a Marvel fan all my life, and Venom has always intrigued me. I've always been a Spider-Man fan, but I have something with villains. I love villains. I feel like villains, they make the story interesting. Right. I think without villains, the story will be boring. I mean, where would Spider-Man be without Venom? Where would the Avengers be without Thanos?
Exactly. Like, the villain kind of makes a lot of who the hero is as well.
Right.
It's the story behind it, the pain behind it. Like, you got to have a good villain, I think, to also kind of have a good hero. They kind of go hand in hand, man.
Absolutely. So, I've always been intrigued by Venom. I've never had the body type to cosplay Spider-Man, and I have my kids who do it and my best friend who does it, and a lot of close friends of mine cosplay Spider-Man, and I love it, and I support them. I'm like, Spider-Man is just not for me, man. I got to go somewhere else. I'm like, you know what? Let me try Venom out. I always loved Venom. Thought Venom was amazing. He's a black Spider-Man with the fangs, and he just looks bulky and, muscular. He just looks amazing. Everybody who doesn't love Venom. You know what I mean?
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
I've always wanted to try to cosplay Venom. Always wanted to do it properly and make sure that that it looks right, and his symbiote that's on top of the suit looks right. And I went to the perfect person who made the suit. He did an amazing job. And obviously he wants to know how I want to look. And we just go back and forth. And I told him from the beginning, I said, listen, it's really important for me for this mouth to open. Can you make that happen? And he definitely made it happen, man. He 3D printed the head,
Yeah.
and it has a spring with a hinge. So when I put the mask on, the bottom of the mouth is on my
Right
bottom
under your jaw. Oh,
Right.
wow. Okay.
So when I
yeah.
open my mouth, his mouth opens.
So cool, dude. With the big fangs, the big teeth, and everything, it just menacing, dude. When I saw that video with Geek Vibes, I was like, oh no, dude! Like that is amazing, dude.
Yeah,
it looks awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not awesome to wear, I'll tell you that. It's a pain in the ass to have on. I think I can have that suit on for no more than about 3 hours, and after that, I'm in excruciating pain.
Oh man, I bet, dude. I bet it's big, it's bulky, it's so much, dude. And you know what? I gotta say too, like I'm speaking of like the Geek Vibes video and everything because that was done at New York Comic Con, right?
Right, yes.
The Geek, yeah, I'm so disappointed, dude, because I was there at New York Comic Con and I missed you, man. I was like, damn it. And there was a time I was so busy. I was doing the panels and I was doing videography out there, and I would have loved to like get video of you myself or like for you or like done some dope scenes with you, like some cinematic little storyline, something real quick in the streets of New York.
That would have been amazing.
There's always next time, man. We'll have to postpone it, but I wanted to, man, so bad.
Yeah, that con is really huge. I have so many people that want to meet up with, and it's very hard to find them at that con. It's so huge, and then the reception in there sucks.
Oh my God, I couldn't get a hold of anybody, dude. I had like shoots booked, and we couldn't get a hold of each other. I missed like a couple of them because they couldn't find me, I couldn't find them. Phones weren't ringing, texts weren't coming through. It was crazy, man. They gotta figure that out. Provide Wi-Fi for everybody. Get that NASA Wi-Fi for everyone. You know,
It's a madhouse. I mean, it's my favorite con. It's my home con.
It's awesome.
This Top Con for me is beautiful. It's great. It's a huge con, but it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster.
It really is, man. It really is. But I had a great time. I unfortunately had some stuff back home that I had to do because I'm currently living in California. And so I was only able to be there for 2 days, and my days were swamped. I was trying to get as many people as I could in to do video for and just to hang out with. And then I had a panel as well. So I was like swamped with that. And I was just like, man, like I missed so many people, and you were one on the list that I was like, I gotta find him. I gotta find him. And it just didn't work out, dude. But speaking of New York Comic Con, man, you've got these awesome shots that were during New York Comic Con, I believe, as well, with a set of Spider-Man and Spider-Men actually, and you've got intro to Vector on the edit with this shot that Aaron Raperto, is that how you say it?
Right, so they're actually brothers.
Oh, are they? Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I thought I saw the same last name. I thought I did.
Right.
And it's with you holding Cosplay Nay as a PS4 Spider-Man, and Christian Acosta, is that one of your kids?
That's my old.
There we go, yeah. And Christian Acosta as Miles Morales by the necks, up off the ground in a classic Spidey versus Venom fashion, dude. You gotta love to see it, man. It's like a comic book page. It's like a video game moment. It's a soon-to-be film moment, I assume, brought to life in the streets of New York, dude. So again, I gotta ask you. You mentioned it a little bit about the movement in the suit and what it takes to put the suit on. This is a big build. I mean, anybody with eyes can see, you know. And you obviously have been able to take it off. You mentioned that it was 3D printed. So break down like suiting up and then also like getting out of the suit. Like what are the pros and the cons of the movement as well with the suit? What's that like?
Well, I will tell you that there's a lot of cons when it comes to putting on and taking off any cosplay that I wear. For some reason, I tend to get cosplays that are uncomfortable, and it's a pain in the ass for people to put on me and take off of me. I usually have a group of people putting it on me, taking it off me. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I do. But just putting on the suit is not as bad as taking it off, but it's challenging. It's one suit with the hands attached. The only things that are not attached are the feet and the head. Everything else is one suit. The hands are attached. Attached to a muscle suit under all that paint and rubber and all that stuff. It comes together. So there's no pieces that are separate except for the feet and the head. Okay.
Well, at least you can movement. The movement obviously can occur, right? With your hands up and everything.
I can move.
You're pretty good with moving.
Good in the suit. It has its restrictions. I think most cosplays have restrictions. I think the only cosplay I've ever seen has never had a restriction. And I don't want to say anything negative about anybody's cosplay, but I think Spider-Man cosplays, they're not as restricted because they're that spandex suit. But I'm sure that their headpieces are not easy to have on. But it's every cosplay has a restriction, some sort of restriction. I have one of my best friends, Samantha Cosplay, Samson Dueler. She wears a Captain Marvel, and all her cosplays they look like they're comfortable. She's like, this is horrible. So
Yeah.
I understand. I hear a lot of complaining from cosplayers that it's stressful.
But that Venom is crazy. So it's another level. You know what I mean? Like you said, from like spandex or even just like, with the regular suits with the muscle suits and everything. Yours is much more. It's bigger. It's bulkier. There's so much going on. You mentioned after like, what was it? You said about 2-3 hours, and then you start feeling like it's too much.
I start to get like back pain. Like my back starts to hurt me. So that's when I know, all right, I have about half hour to 40 minutes before I need to rip this thing off of me.
Yeah.
So during the con, when I'm walking around, I'm having a good time, I start feeling back pain, like the center of my back. I start feeling aching pain. I'm like, okay, I have about 40 minutes before it starts getting worse, and I have to rip this thing. Like I literally have to take it off. I had enough. I got to take this off. And it can be claustrophobic because in the Venom suit, there's a mask attached into the suit that I put over my head that zippers up.
Shit. Okay.
So there's only 2 eye holes. So when somebody looks at me, they see my face.
Oh yeah, makes sense. Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about that. That actually makes complete sense. Yeah, right.
So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in there.
How heavy is it? Is it heavy?
It feels heavy after a while. When it you know what? It weighs about, I would say, 30 to 40 pounds. Mm-hmm. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, they had to put that on
around after an hour. It starts getting heavier.
Yeah, especially at cons and stuff, and then like people are stopping you, you're taking pictures. People are asking you, "Can you do this? Can you do that?" Mm-hmm. And then you want to do stuff too. So yeah, I could imagine after a while that can get pretty hectic, man. Well, it's phenomenally done though, dude. It is beautiful. It's one of my personal favorites, just characters in general, and then also one of my personal favorite cosplays of yours. I remember when I first saw it, like I was just like, "Oh my god!" I was wowed. I was blown away, dude.
We
You've done Venom. You even done Thanos back in the day. You've done Deadpool back in the day, and some others in the Marvel universe as well. And when you cosplay, you tend to cosplay, and not just you, generally speaking, you tend to cosplay some of your favorites, but not always. So I'm curious, real quick. I have a question for you. Whether it's hero, anti-hero, villain, just in general, can you give a top 3 to 5 favorite Marvel characters?
I would have to say Thanos is one of the top 3. I love Thanos. Venom.
Right. You can do 5 if you want to do 5. We top 3 to 5.
Yeah, so Venom, Spider-Man, Wolverine.
Nice.
And my son's over here trying to give me hints. I'm going to just leave it there for now.
Okay, all right, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I gotta tell you, that's some of my picks too, man. I always go back and forth. Like sometimes I gotta throw Silver Surfer in there, dude. I don't know. I just love Silver Surfer, man. There's something about him that I've always just loved. I think as a kid, when you're like a young kid and you haven't dived into the comic books, if anybody was a comic book fan, you're not reading anything, you don't know the lore, you don't know the history. A lot of the times you're just looking at what characters look cool. You know what I mean? Like,
right, exactly,
and when I remember when I was a kid, I just liked the look of Silver Surfer because there was really nobody like him, other than maybe like Iceman. When you're a kid, they look close. Obviously, you grow up, you realize that they're completely different. But I'm just saying the aesthetic of like that silverishy, bluish, kind of look. I always loved Silver Surfer, though. He's always in my top as well, man.
Why are you destroying our planet?
I have no choice.
We got to read this. We got to read this mission log real quick, man. We got a mission log from you, dude. I find this super interesting. Let's take a look at this. And I quote: "Mission log, star date 4072. My ship is run off course. En route to Sector 12. I've crash landed on a strange planet. The impact must have awoken me from hypersleep. Terrain seems a bit unstable. No readout yet if the air is breathable. And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere." End quote. So I gotta ask you, man, what was it like when you crash landed here as none other than Buzz LightYear, dude? I love Toy Story.
Oh, one of my favorite Pixar characters is Buzz LightYear. I've been wanting to do Toy Story for so long, and I've put it off. And I said, you know what? Every year, I'm like, I need to do something different this year. I want to do something cool.
Right.
What am I doing this year? And Buzz Lightyear just kept. And then that year was when Buzz Lightyear, the movie came out with Captain America.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, right.
Yeah.
Which, it was a good movie, but I'm a Tim Allen, Buzz Lightyear fan.
Same, man. Same.
Right. So, so I was like, I need to do something. And I spoke to my best friend. Intro to Vector is Cosplay Rookie, same person. He's actually my best friend, brother. We're like That's my best friend. So we come together all the time to do stuff. So I was like, listen, if I do Buzz, you already know what I'm going to ask you. You say, yeah, I know. You want me to do Woody? I'm like, of course. I'm like, let's do like a realistic, you know, fun. He's like, let's do it.
It looks good, dude. I mean, you really brought this to life, man. Like, and you know what? From head to toe, I got to tell you too, like, I never realized how much of a Buzz Lightyear face that you actually have, dude. Like you have, like if they ever make a live action film, dude, like you just present them yourself. Just be like, look, this is what you guys gotta either hire me or base it off of me. Like you have a Buzz Lightyear face, dude. Yeah, and then cosplay rookie as Woody and everything as well. Like it's spooky makeup for your guys' makeups. Like it's amazing, man. So like, I mean, what essentially led you to do it? Just the fact that it's always been like your favorite and you always wanted to do it. You were putting it off and you just finally did it? Just as simple as that?
I think with the movie coming out, it really gave me a push and I was like, wow, Buzz looks really good in his new movie. His suit looks amazing. Yeah. So I wanted to do half and half. I wanted to look like the Pixar version, but I wanted the suit to look like the movie. Right. So I wanted to have realistic aspects of the suit and I wanted to have his cartoony aspects. So I did half and half. It actually worked. It was actually, it almost didn't happen because I wasn't too happy with the way it was coming out and, you know, things were falling apart and I was at my best friend's house and we were putting together. The whole thing is made out of EVA foam. So,
yeah, I was going to ask what it's made out of.
Together with glue and I was like, this is not working. And we just kept going at it. And then there was a point where we had to attach the shoulder to a harness and the shoulder looked too low. And I was like, this looks ridiculous. And I would look at my wife and how does this look? And my wife is a huge supporter of everything I do. And she's like, you look amazing, babe. But she's a realist also. She's like, you know, maybe you want to do this and that, tweak it. So the end game was amazing, which I'm happy about. And what's funny is that I was walking around Comic-Con and I would make my Buzz face and people would say, wow, he looks just like him. He makes the face,
dude.
The perk, the eyes, everything. I was like, oh,
you do, man. You know what too is when I was going to my panel, I believe it was that time. I saw you as you were Buzz at New York Comic Con, right? Were you Buzz? Yeah, I thought you were. So I was going to my panel. I obviously didn't have time. We were going up to the panel and I saw you. I was on the escalator going up and I looked down and I saw you and I was like, damn it. Like again, like I'm missing him again, dude. Like this is horrible. Yeah, I would have, another one I would have loved to get, dude. And like, I really dig how you do like different cosplays, man. Like, you know, we talk a lot here about like DC cosplays, a lot of Batman here. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it at all. That a lot of the stuff, the content that I talk about, but for me, just me as a person, you know what I mean? And like as a host and talking, like it's always really cool to talk about a variety of different things, you know what I mean? And it's really cool, like from your Venom, from your Buzz Lightyear, and this just it looks amazing, dude. Like all like what would be, you know, the buttons that Buzz has, the blue, the green, the red, and everything. Like, did you just etch those in, paint those on? Like, how are all those details brought to life?
Yeah, so basically everything is EVA foam. You know, you cut things out. It's like putting together like Lego. You put one thing on top of the other. You cut out the shapes, you know, and you just paint, hand paint, then you airbrush to make things look more realistic. But it's heat gun is your best friend, EVA foam and glue, and you can put magic together.
So cool, dude. So cool, man. And Durnan Industries photography on these photos. Like I said, spooky.makeups on the makeup and the suit you give credit to. I don't know how to say this guy's name, bro. Do you know how to say his name?
No, I've always you know, I've always partnered with people that's hard.
Their names are hard. Hold on, I'm gonna try to. Let me go.
I know it's 90 something.
Live in the moment. I'm going to because I just have the screenshots here on my tablet on my notes. I'm doing it live in the moment here because all I have is like the tag, you know what I mean? So it's all one word. So now I'm looking at his Instagram and he has it in his bio spaced apart. Man, forgive me if I butcher this, but it's Nawa.
Right, Nawa.
Raieta, maybe? Nawa Raieta, maybe? I'm not sure, but he's the owner and the founder of J-Toku Costume, which I think more people would recognize J-Toku Costume. So I just like to give credit to everybody. And then the headpiece by Napers Inc. And then for the Woody one, like I said, Cosplay Rookie as Woody. What's harder to get in and out of? Is it Venom or is it Buzz?
Venom. Buzz is really easy to get out of because there's just pieces that are Velcro together. You just take those off piece by piece, and I can actually breathe in that suit. The only problem with Buzz was the feet. The feet were on, like, they're not stilts. They're like how do you say platform? Basically platforms that I'm stepping. They made me a little taller, but after walking around for a few hours, my feet started to kill me. But I would take feet pain more than back pain.
Yeah, 100%. I bet, right? Yeah. So, all these crazy builds, man, all these crazy cosplays, these intricate ones. Like, I gotta ask, you kind of touched on it a little bit briefly, but how did you even get like your start in cosplay to begin with? Like, where did it all begin, and how did it end up to what it is today, man?
Well, yes, I've been cosplaying for about 11 and a half, maybe 12 years, and I've always been into Halloween. I've always dressed up for Halloween and went all out. I would stand outside my house when I was younger, dressed as Michael Myers and hand out candy. Yeah. And I would stand there like Michael Myers, like a creep, and just look at people. And they were like, is that real? Like, I don't know, I always wanted to get in character. And then I found out about this cosplay thing. And I went to New York Comic Con for the first time years ago. And I was Jason, and it was so much fun. And I was like, wow, this is great. I want to continue to do this. But I've always been the type to me, and listen, I don't want people to take my words as something that's written in stone. This is just for me. Yeah. I feel for me, I need to be accurate as possible, but you don't have to be accurate to have fun in cosplay. You don't have to be accurate to enjoy yourself and love what you're doing, because being unique is beautiful as well. For me, I'm not happy unless things look right and look like what I'm trying for them to look like. I need to look like I jumped out of a movie. I need to look like, I want a kid to see me and say, wow, it's Buzz. Like, I want him to believe what he's seeing. And that means a lot to me. You know what I mean? So that's just the way that I feel. But, I've been cosplaying for a long time. And, it's something that I've always loved, putting things on, the costumes and dressing up and becoming, stepping out of your comfort zone and becoming a character that you love and you admire. Not that I admire villains or anything like that, because I cosplay a lot of villains, but, you get to understand their stories and things like that. And it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, and it's just any nerd, any geek, anybody a fan of any of these kind of pop culture things will know that, whether you cosplay or you don't, whether you've dressed up as a kid, it's that feeling you got as a kid when you dressed up as your favorite character. You kind of felt like that character, and then like when you watch the movies and like, for instance, I can remember the first time I saw Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire one, and I don't remember how old I was, but I remember being in the theater, and after the credits rolled, I remember feeling like I wanted to like swing. You know what I mean? I wanted to shoot webs and swing. I wanted to jump up and do like the Spidey pose and everything. And like, I think I might have even been a teenager at the time. I don't remember when that movie came out, but like I still was like always just a nerd. So I can only imagine, because I don't cosplay myself yet. I got some things on the way though, like very soon. Actually,
I'm excited to see, man.
Yeah, I got some things. I'll tell you some things off camera when we're done here. And but I remember those feelings as a kid, dressing up, and so I can only imagine that it kind of just awakens that kid in you as well when you put on Venom, when you put on Buzz, when you put on Batman, when you do whatever you do, like it kind of awakens that kid in you, and just makes you feel like I am Batman, like, you know what I mean? Like we are Venom.
I'm going to leave you with these 2 words. And those 2 words are, I'm Batman.
Let's break up the monotony and let's get into this week's Cosplay of the Week. Oh. And this week's Cosplay of the Week is none other than Sentinel, and that is Sentinel with underscores in between each letter. And I'm throwing it up on the screen right about now. And this is of his Prowler, dude. And if you're looking at this photo right now, you may think, no way, dude. That is an action figure. And I'm here to tell you right now, that is Sentinel. It's not an action figure. That is him, which goes to boast that the cosplay that he built himself is absolutely amazing. And it also, you got to give credit to the photographer being able to portray it the way that it does. Because you guys have seen on Instagram, right? You guys have seen that sometimes where like people take photos, whether it be phone photos, whether it be a camera photo, it doesn't matter, and then they edit it, they do what they got to do. And it's of an action figure, and it looks like it could be like from a movie, or it looks like it was like a 3D rendition, or it looks like it's a cosplayer. This is kind of what this looks like. And so he credits on the photo. I don't know exactly who did it, because he get credited 2 people. So write it in the comments on Instagram if, this obviously is going to become a promo clip. Slow_Octane, and then also Lim, Lim, Cass, CASS on Instagram. This is phenomenal, dude. This is beyond amazing, man. And I want to throw up another one on the screen as well, so I'm throwing that up now. And this one is of Miles Morales is with him as well. And I believe that is Slow Octane as Miles Morales. Again, Slow_Octane. And the caption actually says, gotta give mad props. This is Slow Octane saying this. Gotta give mad props to my guy Sentinel for being the most humble and down-to-earth cosplayer I ever met. He made the Prowler costume all himself and deserves all the praise. It was a pleasure doing this photo shoot together and can't wait to show everyone all the content we got cooking at the time of this this posting. I don't know when they posted this as far as the date goes. Forgive me, I forgot to write that down. But and this photo is by Lim Cass of them 2 together, Miles Morales and Prowler. Phenomenal, both of you guys. Let's take a look at the Prowlers, like those gauntlets, though, dude. I had to look it up to make sure that I got the wording right because I didn't want to mess it up because I know a decent amount about Prowler, but I definitely could know more. And I had to look it up, dude. And I got it in front of me. And these gauntlets are capable of shooting compressed air blasts, sleeping pellets, and other projectiles. And I knew that they were able to shoot something, but I didn't know they were able to shoot all of those things, actually, to be honest with you. So, hey, the nerd podcaster is learning something today from a cosplay of the week, and you did this justice beyond belief, man. From the gauntlets to the gloves that are enable him to do wall climbing and everything, to the cape and all of it that you've got flowing in the wind in the previous photo that we looked at, all the way down to the gauntlets and the boots and everything with the lights coming off. Again, forgive me, I'm gotta look at it real quick. Is there anything else? I don't remember if there's anything else myself, but the way that the lights are, forgive me if they do something else and I'm just not saying it, but just mind-blowing, dude. Absolutely mind-blowing. And just to round this out real quick, I want to throw up a third one while we get out of here. And that's going up right now, and that's of his Taskmaster, which he's got different iterations of his Taskmaster. The mask flips up. He's got one that have like LED eyes, it looks like, that turn blue, some that turn orange. I mean, it's just perfectly done, dude. And I'm gonna stop talking about it because, man, this is the invitation right here, right now, live on the show. If you want to come on the show, I want to talk to you, man. I want to talk to you about these intricate builds that you do. This is phenomenal, man. Another long time coming. I've had you saved in the vault for a while, dude. And this is amazing. You guys need to go follow Sentinel if you're not. And we've got guest, the Acosta Projekt, here today, where he's got equally amazing cosplays that are big builds, intricate builds, Venom, Buzz LightYear. He does all kinds of amazing things from Mortal Kombat, so from video games to film to animation to everything in between, Marvel, DC. He's got it all, man. And you guys kind of have that in common with these amazingly big, intricate builds with your cosplays and different characters that aren't so common, dare I say. You have anything that you want to add to this before we wrap up this segment?
Well, before I say anything else, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of Sentinel. I actually thought that he was an action figure when I first saw his photo.
Right.
I was like, is that a figure? I thought it was. And I look, and then my brother's like, did you see that? I'm like, what?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Seriously,
phenomenal.
amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not following Sentinel, you need to go follow Sentinel 100%. Spelled exactly how it sounds, but there's underscores in between each letter and one after the last L as well. Because Sentinel, your Prowler and Taskmaster cosplay of the week for me and the Acosta Projekt is amazing. Daniel, I gotta do something real quick, man. I got to do something. I don't know. I've never said your name out loud. That's his name, ladies and gentlemen. It's on his Instagram, so I'm not outing him. Daniel Acosta, the Acosta Projekt. I want to do something special. I don't know if you know that it was coming. Some people do. Some people don't. I want to get into something I like to call Shotgun Questions. And what Shotgun Questions is a quick, supposed to be rapid fire, but it never really ends up being that rapid fire. And that's okay. That's fine. We always end up having a little bit of a conversation about it. Some guests know that it's coming. Some guests don't know that it's coming at all. Some know what it is. Some don't know what it is at all. Some know that it's happening. They just don't know when it's happening. And it is 3 to 4 random questions. They're just fun. It's nothing stressful. Let's see if we can have a good time real quick. Out of these Batmen, you've got Keaton, Bale, Affleck, Pattinson. You can only choose one, and the rest and their universe cease to exist. Who do you pick?
I'll pick Keaton.
Oh, no way, Keaton. That's nice.
Yeah,
You can't fault it, man. You can't fault any of these. I don't think you could really ever fault anybody, man. But it's everybody's pick. It's a hard one, dude. It's a hard one, man. From any comic book iteration, from any video game, from any animation, is there anything that you would love to see adapted into live action? Or even if it's just a scene or a sequence or a moment from something that you love that you'd like to see play out in film, what would that be? I'll give you an example of something that I'd like to see. I would like to see how DC tackles the death of Robin, Jason Todd, when he becomes Red Hood and all of that. Is it going to be as brutal and crazy as it is in the comics or even in animations? I want to see how they tackle that in live action and if they do it justice. So I ask you the same. Do you have anything from any pop culture reference of any kind that you would love to see adapted into live action?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I am dying to see a Dragon Ball Z live action done right, right?
Yeah.
And I would love to see the battle between Vegeta, Cell, and Goku and Trunk. I'm not Trunk.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, Gohan.
Yes, right?
I would like to see that live action with all the special effects, like Avengers Endgame style.
Ooh, yes, dude. Yes. Yeah. When you said Avengers Endgame style, you nailed it for me. I'm in, dude. Mm-hmm. I'm in. And right now, that's where Hollywood's going. It's a lot of live action anime right now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. One Piece. And then what came out recently too? Was it Avatar, right? I think it was Avatar that came out recently. Yeah, One Piece and Avatar. We might see that someday, dude. We might.
I hope so.
Last one, outside of pop culture and things like that. If you could time travel to any period, any era, where would you go and why? And you can have 3 different choices.
Oh man, where would I go and why? I would go back to the 50s.
Nice.
I just love that era, the 50s era, gangsters and things like that. I was always intrigued me.
Same.
I would definitely go there.
Yep.
You said 3?
Yeah, you can have 3. Yeah.
And it could be anytime. I mean, I would definitely go back to my childhood and give myself a smack in the head and be like, listen, my man, you're gonna make a few mistakes and you can't make these mistakes. You gotta let's fix this.
Yeah, definitely.
Would love to do that, right?
Oh yeah, everybody's got a moment in time they want to go back to and fix, of course, or tell themselves something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
Not to get religious or anything on your show.
Oh no, you're cool, man. You're good.
Go back to like any biblical time, like
Oh no, I would too. Yeah, I would too. Yeah. Regardless of anybody's religion or anything, like I want to know what is it? Like what is it all really? Because we have aside from anybody's beliefs or faith, I'm not trying to offend anybody or anything, but I'm just saying like we weren't there. That's all I'm saying is we weren't there. Right. So whatever you believe in, whatever God you believe in, whatever this is, all across all religions, I agree with you, man. Like I would love to find out what's really what really happened, how it all went down, and be in the moment. Like those are good choices, man. That's the first time anybody's ever said. That's a good one, dude. That's a good one. Well, that's shotgun questions. Let's continue, man. You've cosplayed as Darth Maul before. You sat in this chair for who knows how long, man. We're going to find out. While Dive _art_NYC applied makeup and the horns and the whole 9 yards, dude, to help bring to life this epic cosplay itself for these epic shots of you in Tatooine. Nobody can tell me any different, and no one can tell me that this isn't the Darth Maul with the lightsaber in hand. You even got this dope lightsaber battle shots with, hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly, Sid Rel X as Ahsoka. Equally amazing. Grace and shine photo on the capture. So I got to ask you, how long does applying this makeup and the horns take to get into character for Darth Maul?
Right. So one of my close friends, Stephanie, she did the special makeup effects for Darth Maul. She's an extremely talented makeup artist. She's amazing. I love her to death. You guys definitely go follow her. She actually made the horns herself. She designed the horns. Yeah, she designed them. And she made them herself, which was really impressive. She painted them to look realistic. And I was really impressed when I saw them. I was like, because I give her my vision and she's like, let me see what I'm going to do with this. And she just gets to work and she really impressed me. And I was like blown away by what she did. I was in her chair for about 2 hours.
2 hours. It's like a movie, man. It's like a movie.
And you would think, I have a bald head, how much time would you take? I don't have to put on a ball cap. I have no hair. Like, what's going on here? But that makeup takes a while. I had to put the contacts in. We had to put the horns on. Then, she went to work on my face, and it was a lot of work, but it was loads of fun, man. I had a lot of that shoot. That was a lot of fun. That shoot. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was great.
These are amazing, man. Like I said, I did it as the cosplay of the week, and I stand by it, man. And it's cool to be able to talk to you about it right now because these are just phenomenal, dude. And shout out to is it Sid Rel X? Is it Sid?
Yeah.
Sid? Okay,
Sid, yeah, that's her name. Yeah, she did an amazing Ahsoka. She looks so
amazing. Yeah, definitely go follow her as well because that's phenomenal, dude. I love your Darth Maul, man. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm not. I will admit. I'm not, I don't know if I would say giant Star Wars fan. There's a lot that I don't know because there's a lot that I missed. Like I didn't watch the Clone Wars animation, and I know everybody goes, what, dude? What?
No!
Like, I know everybody freaks out. I just had this conversation with like 4 people in the last month, dude. Especially around the time when Ahsoka came out as well. They were like, wait a minute, you haven't watched Clone Wars? Like, you can't watch Ahsoka. You got to go back. You got to watch everything. You got to catch up, man. Yeah, I'm behind, dude. I'm so behind that I'm almost afraid to admit it, man. I'm caught up on everything Mandalorian. I didn't watch Boba Fett. And then I didn't watch Andor yet either. And I didn't watch Ahsoka because I want to go back and I want to watch other stuff. So I'm behind, man. But I definitely am a Star Wars fan. I have a lightsaber and everything. I was gonna pull it down, but everybody knows what a lightsaber looks like. I have Mace. I have
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna show. I have Mace Windu's. I definitely am a Star Wars fan, but I want to ask you. I want to take this time because, like I said earlier in the episode, when it comes to like cosplays and stuff, we talk a lot about DC here. I think DC's kind of become the number one thing. Then I think Marvel would probably be second, and then some video game stuff. A lot of Mortal Kombat talks here, but it's a lot of Batman. It's a lot of like DC stuff, and again, there's nothing wrong with it. But outside of cosplay, this show, for anybody that's tuning in right now that, has tuned in the last like year or so, this show used to have like a lot more solo episodes that were like absolutely chaotic and a lot of comedy filled. But I did things too where like I reviewed stuff or I talked about stuff or, news and, kind of like those news podcasts. And I don't really get to do that anymore. And I felt like this kind of was a cool opportunity, being that we're talking about different cosplays, your Buzz LightYear, your Venom, your Darth Maul. I thought this would maybe be a cool opportunity to take a sec. Like, I'm curious, where do you think the state of Star Wars is at right now, in your personal opinion? Because much like everything with Disney and Marvel, Star Wars, in my personal opinion, I think that there's a lot of fatigue surrounding these pop culture, comic book movies, these pop culture in general, these kind of movies, for both the viewer and the creators as well. I think they're kind of having a fatigue on certain directions to go internally. The latest Star Wars films, have, very mixed reviews with a lot more I see personally in my conversations with people leaning a little bit more towards, the last trilogy not being the best. Many are worrisome about the future of Star Wars. I know, I wasn't the biggest fan of the last trilogy. I, however, really did like Kylo Ren, though. Meanwhile, the Star Wars series on D+ seemed to be faring much more well and doing great, such as Mandalorian, for example. I'm curious, where do you stand on, the Star Wars franchise as a whole, and what do you want from it moving forward?
Well, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm glad you mentioned that. I am I love Star Wars to death. I grew up on Star Wars. My older brother is a huge Star Wars fan. All we do is talk about Star Wars. We build R2D2s together and Legos.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. All we do is talk about Star Wars things, and it's a lot of fun. I love Star Wars. I grew up in the Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader time, episode 4, 5, and 6, and I was a huge fan of episode 1, 2, and 3. I'm a Hayden Christensen fan, Darth Vader. Anakin. I love him as Anakin. I'm a huge fan of him as Anakin. I was not a fan of the last 3 trilogies.
Yeah.
I thought The Force Awakens was good.
Me too.
Yeah,
I agree with
that,
you.
I was like, what's going on here?
I agree.
I don't like the way they disrespected Luke Skywalker. I just thought they could have did so much more.
Dude, it gave me chills right now when you said that. Like, it resonated with me. Like, I was upset. I was genuinely like bothered. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like it. Didn't like it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan. I know they're coming out with another film with
with Rey.
With Rey. I'm gonna watch it because I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Same.
But I think that after the trilogies, when the Mandalorian came out, it really skyrocketed Star Wars. I think The Mandalorian was holding Star Wars up. Because The Mandalorian is phenomenal.
Yeah, I think it's set the bar much higher, whether it be films, the series, it doesn't matter. I think Mandalorian just raised the bar of what Star Wars should be and could be as well.
Right. Yeah, so Mandalorian definitely brought Star Wars back to what it was.
Right. Good way to put it, yeah.
Right, because it was going in a really, really weird direction. So Mandalorian definitely saved, the franchise. And Ahsoka is excellent. You need to watch that, but you can't watch Ahsoka unless you watch Star Wars.
I know,
the Clone Wars
dude.
is amazing. My goodness gracious. The Clone Wars is
my girl told me the same thing. She was like, "What?
And you gotta watch Rebels because you're not gonna understand."
Exactly. That's what my friend told me. He's like, "Bro, you haven't watched Rebels either?" I'm like, "All right, man. You know what? You guys. I'm sorry." Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. What would you want from it, like moving forward? Like, if you were, I don't know if I want to say like if you were in charge, but like, whether it be you were in charge or just from a fan standpoint, like, what do you want from Star Wars moving forward, as far as the films go? I guess you could say.
I think that they need to make a Mando film, a movie with that character, and and introduce obviously new characters that'll help the franchise move forward. Obviously, people love when they speak about when they introduce Darth Vader, like with Rogue. Oh man, when was that?
Obi-Wan?
No. Yeah, Obi-Wan. He was in that, but when he was it Rogue One? No, was it Rogue One?
Yeah. It was Rogue One. Yeah. He's in Rogue One. Yeah.
When he came out in Rogue One, and they showed how evil Darth Vader can be.
Yeah.
At that end scene, it was amazing. I don't know how they can continue to keep Anakin and Darth Vader in Star Wars franchise, which it gets repetitive and it gets old. But people love that character so much. They need to introduce a character that is like him. You know what I want? I want them to do a Star Killer movie. Have you ever played The Force Unleashed?
Yes, dude. Yes. Underrated game, dude. The first one's better than the second one, though, in my opinion.
If that was a movie, my goodness gracious. Darth Vader's apprentice?
Yes, dude. Yes.
Come on.
Yes. Yes, 100%, man. I don't know. I'm very skeptical about the future of the films moving forward, with it being centered around Rey. I'm very skeptical about that. I don't really know how I feel. Part of me is just kind of like, I don't want it. But then the other part of me is kind of like, because they set the bar so high with Mandalorian and everything, I'm hoping that they're sitting there going, all right, we have to deliver. Whether it's Rey or not, we know that there's a lot of backlash with Rey, but we have to deliver. So I'm hoping that they do that. Are you in the group of people that would have liked to see more from Darth Maul in live action? I know there was more from him in the animations and everything, but would you have wanted him in more live action? Because I think he was underused, in my opinion.
I agree with you 100%. I think Darth Maul is an amazing character. He's another character that people fell in love with the way they fell in love with Darth Vader. And he was utilized amazing in episode 1. Yeah. But I feel that they need to utilize that character more. I was actually hoping he would show up in one of the Disney Plus shows. His story in the Clone Wars is really good. If you watch the Clone Wars, you're gonna really enjoy his story. His story in the Clone Wars is phenomenal.
That's what everybody tells me.
And it's really, really good. But I fell in love with Kylo Ren in Force Awakens because he was kind of like a Darth Vader figure. And then as the story unfolded with the other two movies, I was like, what is this? What's going on here?
It was almost like they went in a different direction with him emotionally and everything. Right. I don't know. Yeah. The Force Awakens.
I wasn't scared of him after that. I was scared of this guy. And
yes.
I was like, who is this? Yes. Awesome.
Yes, dude. Yes. We are gonna get ready to wrap up here, man. Yeah. But I gotta ask you before we do. So, what's next for you within cosplay, dude? And we've got so many cosplays that I want to touch with you on. We could be here all day, dude. I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I really want to talk with you about Mortal Kombat. Obviously, DC stuff, and you have amazing Batman cosplays and the way that you do it. Actually, you know what, dude? I'm going to improv it real quick. I know we're creeping up already on an hour unedited. I don't know what it's going to end up being in editing. I'm going to improv it real quick. I'm going to your Instagram. Right. I got to talk about it, man. I don't think I've ever done this. I'm going off script. I got to talk to you about it real quick. We'll see how long it ends up being, dude. But you have these shots of you as Batman. I believe I featured your Batman as a cosplay of the week as well. I really like the way that you do your Batman with like the gold on the knuckles and everything. And I love that, dude. I was actually showing my girl last night and she was like, oh my God, that's amazing. She followed you. She just followed you actually. Paper Moon Cosplay.
Oh yeah, I followed her back.
She just followed you. Yeah. You have this one photo I'll describe it for you since you don't have anything in front of you since I'm improv in the moment. Of you as Batman kind of in the background a little bit, and you've got little Bruce Wayne, Thomas Wayne, and Martha Wayne dead on the floor. And I just thought this was amazing, dude. Like just the portrayal of like Bruce on his knees, they're on the ground, that scene that everybody knows, that classic scene, but then Batman in the background, dude. Like, what was going through your mind? Was that your idea? Was it the photographer's idea? Which again, credit to Grayson Shine Photo for the photography. Thomas Wayne, a cosplay rookie, and Martha, Nikki Bush, and it's your son as Bruce, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Whose idea was this, man? How did this come about?
Yeah. So that was my project. I brought Grayson Shine Francisco on the project. He's an amazing photographer, and I just love his way he shoots. He has the way he shoots is like, it makes it look dark. It makes it look gritty. Right. I like his shots, his gritty, dark looking shots. So I definitely needed him on that project. That was actually shot at my job in a parking lot.
No way.
It doesn't look that way because he did such an amazing job.
It doesn't. It looks like a studio. I thought it was like maybe a studio or something. You know what I mean? Like a set. Wow, dude.
In the garage. But yeah, it was my idea and a photographer's idea. Yeah, we came together. It was like, what can we do to make this look how can we make this look like storytelling in one photo, basically? Bruce Wayne growing up to be Batman. So I was like, why don't we have Noah on the ground, sad with his parents on the floor, which everybody has seen, but Batman behind him. You know, it's just a vision that I had in my mind. Like, I thought about it and I was like, we need to shoot this. I don't know how it's going to happen, but we need to get it done.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. And then there's another shot that is, a top shot, dude, a top down view. Phenomenal, man. Like, obviously you're not the first person to do a top down view, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I've seen this in like quite a while, dude. And forgive me, I obviously don't know everybody and everything, but this is so cool to have this like top down view, Bruce Wayne, Martha and Thomas, like you said, and you took the words right out of my mouth because I was going to say the same thing, this storytelling way. And these are just perfect, man. And those caught my eye right away. And the same thing with the ones with, again, forgive me, everybody, I'm literally doing this in the moment. I don't have it all saved. With Crisis Cosplay as well. Shout out to Crisis, been mentioned here many times. And I think this was also a cosplay of the week. It was one of the ones that I touched on. Again, Grayson Shine Photo on the photo. You as Batman. Crisis as Jason Todd Robin. And he's on the floor. You're holding him like, dude, amazing. I love those like storytelling ones that are like ripped straight out of the comics, but maybe done in your own way or done in your own rendition. And your guys' suits are absolutely phenomenal as well, from the Robin to the Batman. The photography is just solid. The lighting with the green on one side, the red on the other. Like once again, where was this shot? And also, I don't see it here, and I'm not going to go through it all. You probably know. Plug like the suits as well. Like, give credit to whoever you got the suits from if you remember everything.
Yeah, so that was actually shot at my job as well. It was shot in the water tower at my job. Nice. I work in a residential building in Manhattan. I'm a concierge, so there's a lot of places at my job to shoot beautiful things. But that was basically my shoot. I brought everybody on that shoot, and I wanted to get. I like to have storytelling during my shots. I don't just want to take a picture. I want it to mean something, something that I've read that's meant something to me. That's why a lot of the photos that you see on my page, they tell you a little story about what's happening. Yeah. I brought everybody into that shoot, and we had a lot of fun. Napier's Inc. made that Batman.
Nice, dude. Yeah.
And Dark Knight Effects made the cowl.
Nice.
And I tend to go to different people.
Yeah, of course.
I'm very busy with work and family, and sometimes I'm just like, hey, can you help me out with this? And they just,
make it happen.
Put it together for me. Yes. They did an amazing job with that suit and that hybrid Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight hybrid cowl.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. You guys got to go check out his Batman content. Scroll down a little bit and check out all the ones that we just mentioned real quick, randomly right here. And then he's got some with Batwoman. He's got some with Scarecrow. I mean, they're phenomenal, man. They're so
That's
well
my
done,
oldest
dude.
Scarecrow also.
That's what?
My oldest son, Christian, that's him in the
Oh,
Scarecrow
no
costume.
way. Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. But yeah, we are going to get ready to get out of here. I want to run it back to the original question I asked you before we ended up going off about Batman, which is like what's next for you in cosplay, man? You got anything that you can keep things a secret, of course, but if you have anything you want to, hint at or reveal or anything, like you got anything you're working on, like anything that you want to do, like what's next?
Well, I'm definitely always working on something. I always say to myself, this is the last time I'm going to cosplay. And for some reason, I tend to continue to do it because I love it and it's just something that I love to do. But I am definitely working on a few projects for next year's Comic-Con.
Nice.
Dragon Ball Z related,
Nice.
80s movie related, and I'm actually doing a huge Star Wars shoot with a group of well-known cosplayers.
Nice.
So there's 3 projects happening for next year. 80s movie related. Dragon
No
Ball Z,
way.
Star Wars, yes.
Nice, dude. Nice, man. I dig it, man.
I'm excited about it, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. I'm really excited to see everything you got going on too, man. You are a phenomenal cosplayer, dude. You're a great person. I always thought that about you, just like the way you post you with your family and stuff and you involve your family. I kind of mentioned it earlier and everything. And like the videos that I watch of you, you just seem like a real down-to-earth and humble dude, man. So, thank you for coming on, man. It's a blessing. Again, I know I said it like 3 times now, but before we get out of here, I want to give you the floor to say whatever it is that you want to say, plug whatever you want to plug, shout out whoever you want to shout out, anything that's on your mind, basically your outro, man. Whatever you'd like to say, go ahead. This is your moment, man.
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity again, man. I'm a fan of your show, and
thank you.
It means a lot to me that you asked me to get on your show, and this is a huge opportunity for me. So thanks a lot. I really, really appreciate it. Basically, I just want to say, everybody and anybody can cosplay. Don't compare yourself to other cosplayers because you'll never do anything. Just do what you love and create things. Create what you want to create and put on whatever you want to put on. Have fun, love one another, and be joyful about what you're doing. And everything is smooth sailing, man.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
There's enough hate in the world for us to nag and beef about silly things. We should just support one another and come together and do what we love. So
yeah, 100%, man. What a great message, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not, go follow the Acosta Projekt, spelled exactly how it sounds, but his is with a C, as where this show is with a K. The Acosta Projekt with a C. Go follow him right now for everything that he's got going on. There are so many more things that I would have loved to talk with you about. He's got so many more amazing cosplays, but you know what? We leave a little bit of suspense for anybody that may not be following you. Now they're going to go check out the things we didn't talk about, and maybe they're going to want more in the future, man. So I'd love to welcome you back sometime next year, dude. We'll do it again, and we'll have a great conversation, man. It's been awesome. And to everybody tuning in, thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, for doing all of those beautiful things that you do over on youtube.com/Side Projekt Podcast. When you go down, you hit that big red subscribe button. When you hit it, it goes, and you get 100 sexy Projekt points. When you follow and you rate and you do all those things you do over on Spotify as well, I thank you from the bottom of my heart because videos are available on Spotify as well. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Instagram at IGHatesChazzy. That is my personal, and everything else you need to find me on social media is on the screen right about now. And if you're looking for the podcast on Instagram as a whole, you can find it at Side Projekt Podcast. And remember, that one's with a K. For me, for the Acosta Projekt, we are out of here.